The campus queen impersonated me to meet my online boyfriend. My online boyfriend had said he liked gentle, ladylike girls. Before our planned meet-up, I quietly replaced every pair of jeans in my closet with skirts. Then, out of nowhere, subtitles like those streaming video comments started flashing before my eyes. Wait, is the side character changing her style? If she really changes her look, how is our goddess Chloe supposed to impersonate her and get close to male lead? Don't worry. The lead will just mock her a bit, and she'll get all insecure and switch back. Honestly, her legs were long and straight. She actually looked better in skirts. Looking good is overrated anyway. The female lead was the pure beauty from the School of Arts. This poor girl didn't deserve the sterling family heir. My hand stilled. The dorm door suddenly opened, and in walked Chloe Evans holding her sketchbook. Her gaze drifted lightly to the hem of my skirt. "Calla, you bought this skirt too?" She stepped closer, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "But this style just doesn't suit you. It looks off." Chloe's words felt like a thin needle, stabbing straight into my ears. My parents had always hoped for a boy. As a child, they dressed me exclusively in boys' clothing. Even now, I still dressed in a neutral, almost masculine way. But deep down, what girl doesn't want to feel pretty? Chloe smiled sweetly and patted my shoulder. Her tone sounded sincere. "I just bought a new pair of jeans. You can have them. That way you will not get laughed at by other students for wearing this." If this had been before, I probably would have felt so ashamed that I would have rushed to take the skirt off and stuff it into the deepest corner of my closet. Every time I wanted to try something prettier or even slightly sexy, Chloe always talked me out of it. Back then, I truly believed she was doing it for my own good. Until one time, when I overheard our other roommates whispering that my features and figure were actually better than Chloe's. That if I dressed properly, I should have been the real campus queen. Because of that, Chloe ignored me for 3 whole days. And I was the one who kept swallowing my pride, begging for her forgiveness. All because I had treated her as my best friend. Besides, I had always been deeply insecure. I never had any intention of competing with her. One shook my head and took a good look in the mirror. I didn't look half bad. A small smile touched my lips. "No need, thanks. I want to try a new style." The smile on Chloe's face stiffened instantly. The comments appeared again. What is she doing? She didn't seriously think she looked good in a skirt, did she? If she dresses like this, how is our girl Chloe supposed to pull off the impersonation and land? Connor? Chill, guys. Our queen Chloe's got a plan for a chance encounter, all set. Once she pulls that off, Calla will be exposed as the fake. Totally. A few timed tears from Chloe, and Connor will be wrapped around her finger. That tomboy Calla won't stand a chance. That was when I finally understood the truth. I was nothing more than a throwaway side character in a feel-good romance story. My entire existence was meant to highlight Chloe's perfection and push her relationship with Connor Sterling forward. In the ending of the novel, because I supposedly sabotaged their love, Chloe had me kidnapped. I was taken overseas and forced into sex work. Living felt worse than dying. Now that I had awakened, I didn't want to play along anymore. I wanted to see for myself what would happen when this female supporting character stopped being insecure and stopped being manipulated by the female lead. I straightened my back and looked at my reflection with confidence. Then I met Chloe's eyes directly. My online boyfriend said he likes girls in skirts. Seems like a good time for a change. Chloe pressed her lips together, without realizing it. Oh, you can't take stuff from some online flirtation seriously. Calla, I'm only thinking of you. Guys say that kind of thing all the time. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe, I said, lifting the hem of my skirt and giving a little spin. But I'd like to try anyway. You never know, it might suit me. That night, Chloe dropped the subject. She was clearly in a foul mood. In the bed next to mine, she tossed and turned all night. With no morning classes, I slept in. When I got out of bed, I realized Chloe's spot was already empty. After washing up, I checked my phone. A new message had come in from my online boyfriend. I thought about what you said yesterday about changing your style. I realized I was out of line. Just be yourself. There's no pressure with me. I stared at the screen, warmth spreading quietly through my chest. We had met through an online reading group and had been chatting for half a year. He wasn't much of a talker, but when he did speak, his words always hit home. We just clicked. Even after 2 months of whatever this was, I never sent him a clear face pic. After some thought, I looked at my reflection in the mirror. I was wearing that white dress. I took a clear photo and sent it to him. Then I typed back, "Yeah, no pressure." I wanted to try a different style anyway. What do you think? Almost at the same time, the floating comments appeared again. She actually sent it. Pointless. Our girl Chloe already snagged his class schedule. They've probably accidentally met by now. The drama. Chloe even wore a similar white dress today. She's totally setting him up to mistake her for the real deal. Too little, too late. First impressions, everything. With Chloe playing the victim, he'll just think Calla's the copycat. Connor and Chloe are endgame. Why is this trash side character even trying? My stomach dropped. I grabbed my phone and sent another message in a rush. Where are you right now? There was no immediate reply. I changed my shoes, grabbed my bag, and ran out. I'd just hit the dorm lobby when my phone buzzed. I glanced at it, not him. I vaguely remembered that the classmate who organized the reading group had mentioned he was from the School of Business. One turned and sprinted toward the academic building. From a distance, I saw 2 people standing beneath the banyan tree by the side entrance. The girl wore a white dress, her long hair falling over her shoulders. She tilted her head slightly as she looked at the man in front of her. Her profile was soft and gentle. It was Chloe. The man standing before her was tall and straight. He wore a simple white shirt and black pants, his back facing me. Chloe raised her hand and tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, the movement delicate and graceful. The comments flooded in excitedly. That's the look. The perfect innocent girl. Connor, look at her. She's your destiny. She looks so fragile. The moment she says Calla stole her pics, Connor will eat it up. The next second, Chloe stood on her tiptoes and pressed a light kiss to the corner of the man's lips. The faint spark of hope in my chest went out with a soft hiss. His gaze lifted, traveled over Chloe's shoulder, and locked directly with mine. He stared for a long moment without looking away. Chloe followed his gaze. When she saw me, her smile froze. "Honey," her voice tightened. "Let's go. Did we not agree to see a movie?" I finally found my voice and took a step. "Actually, I'm the dash. That's just my roommate, Calla." Chloe cut me off. She suddenly lowered her head and began to cry. I didn't want to say this. "Honey, she's been bullying me for ages. She even used my pictures to catfish people online." She pulled up her sleeve, revealing several thin red marks on her forearm. Yesterday, when I confronted her, she did this with a box cutter. The man's expression changed. Instantly. When he looked at me again, the trace of hesitation in his eyes was gone. All that remained was cold disgust. Chloe is my girlfriend now. If you so much as look at her wrong again, or steal one more photo dash, he let the pause hang. I'll make sure you're expelled. With that, they turned and left. I stood there, rooted to the spot. The summer breeze felt like shards of ice against my skin. I took out my phone, my fingers trembling as I opened the chat window. Why would you believe her over me? Half an hour passed before my phone finally vibrated. Something camp up. I'll reach out later. My heart sank completely into an icy abyss. I smiled, even as tears splashed onto the screen. Got it. Be happy together. The moment I sent it, I tapped the corner of the screen and blocked him, then deleted the entire chat history. Since I couldn't change how the plot unfolded in this lousy novel, then I would at least take care of myself. I would stop interfering in their relationship. But the world had other plans. The anonymous post blew up on the campus forum at dawn the next day. The headline was written in bold, blood red letters. Exposed. That pervert tomboy Kala Shah catfished using the campus queen's photos and bullied her. To cover it up, the article was viciously written, fabricating a story designed to stir outrage. And I was cast as the abuser. The comment section blew up instantly. Whoa, for real. Kala always seemed kinda quiet though. You never really know people. I heard her family is poor. Probably jealous of Chloe. I'm in the next dorm over. I always hear Chloe crying at night. She said she was homesick, but now I'm seriously creeped out. The dean's office needs to step in. Someone like her doesn't belong here. I scrolled through the post, my fingers turning icy. Walking into the lecture hall, every stare felt like a needle prick. My seat had been splashed with red ink. The thick liquid dripped from the chair onto the floor, looking like blood. After class, a group of girls blocked me at the stairwell corner. The one in front was Chloe's best friend. She crossed her arms and looked me up and down. Well, look who it is. The big liar herself. Still got the nerve to show your face. Move, I said hoarsely. Another girl leaned in with a laugh. Seen the post? You've gone viral, sweetheart. Over 10,000 views. You're famous. They formed a loose semicircle around me. Chloe stood a short distance away, smiling faintly as she watched. Out of nowhere, a hand fisted in my hair, shoving my face toward a trash can. I fought back with everything I had. Let go. You're helping the real bully. Chloe's the abuser. Here. I never used her photos. She was the one impersonating me. Someone kicked the trash can over. Instant noodles and greasy soup splashed all over me. You trash. People passed by, pointing and whispering, acting like I deserved it. I took the chance to break free and ran, hiding inside a quiet corner of the academic building. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number popped up. You're a liar. You don't belong here. Have some shame. You're disgusting. I hope you and everyone close to you suffer. One message after another. By evening, my stomach was cramping with hunger, forcing me to brave the dinning hall. The moment I stepped inside, someone threw a cup of boiling water at me. I screamed in pain. The commotion drew everyone's attention. I recognized him. He was one of Chloe's admirers, the guy who used to confess to her every day. Outside our dorm, I finally snapped. What the hell is wrong with you? He clenched his jaw and dumped his tray of food straight onto my face. Shut your mouth, you fake. You used Chloe's pics to catfish guys and then had the nerve to bully her. Lucky for me, running into you today. Time to teach you a lesson for Chloe. I tried to argue, but he waved his hand and his friends surrounded me. At the entrance of a private room on the second floor, a man lifted his gaze and looked over. His brow was furrowed. Someone beside him muttered, "Don't bother, Connor. She's getting what she deserves." In the crowd, my hair was pulled and my body shoved around. Then Chloe suddenly shouted, "What are you doing?" The crowd parted. Her voice was soft and gentle as she reached out, trying to grab me. "Kala, are you alright?" She frowned, turning to the other. "Please stop this. If she admits her mistakes and changes, that's enough." Watching her performance made my stomach churn. I jerked my arm away from her touch. She stumbled backward. There was a ripping sound as her long dress caught on the corner of a table. The fabric tore from mid-thigh, exposing the light-colored safety shorts underneath. Time froze for a second. Then Chloe's sobs burst out. She crumpled to the floor, curling in on herself. "Kala, I was trying to help you. How could you?" The man watching from the second floor rushed down immediately. He took off his jacket and wrapped it tightly around Chloe, then scooped her up in his arms. His gaze swung to me, the cold in his eyes sharp enough to cut glass. "Kala." His voice was pressed low. "I warned you yesterday. If I see your face again, you'll regret it. Now get lost." In this ridiculous novel, arguing felt completely pointless. I turned and left in humiliation. As I walked away, I started calculating whether I should put even more distance between myself and them. The meeting notice from academic advisor Miller came, without warning. Skipping it would count as an unexcused absence. What I didn't expect was that this, too, was Chloe's trap. The moment I pushed open the classroom door, Chloe and her followers surrounded me. Well, well. Look who decided to grace us with her presence. The guest of honor is here. I clenched the strap of my backpack. Where's the advisor? What meeting? A boy said, jingling his keys. This little gathering is all for you, sweetheart. Someone raised a phone and pointed the camera straight at me. Already got the live stream title. Ready. Live confession, the campus catfish. 10,000 likes and you walk. Deal? My head spun with anger. This is kidnapping. Kidnapping? A boy stepped forward and patted my cheek. We are carrying out justice. Cleaning up the campus. Oh, he added with a grin. Here's an option. Drop out. Today. Vanish from Connor's world.
House.
That sound. He took off his jacket and wrapped it tightly around Chloe, then scooped her up in his arms. His gaze swung to me, the cold in his eyes sharp enough to cut glass. Calla. His voice was pressed low. I warned you yesterday. If I see your face again, you'll regret it. Now get lost. In this ridiculous novel, arguing felt completely pointless. I turned and left in humiliation. As I walked away, I started calculating whether I should put even more distance between myself and
them.
The meeting notice from academic advisor Miller came without warning. Skipping it would count as an unexcused absence. What I didn't expect was that this, too, was Chloe's trap. The moment I pushed open the classroom door, Chloe and her followers surrounded me. Well, well. Look who decided to grace us with her presence. The guest of honor is here. I clenched the strap of my backpack. Where is the advisor? What meeting? A boy said, jingling his keys. This little gathering is all for you, sweetheart. Someone raised a phone and pointed the camera straight at me. Already got the live stream title. Ready. Live confession, the campus catfish. 10,000 likes and you walk. Deal? My head spun with anger. This is kidnapping. Kidnapping? A boy stepped forward and patted my cheek. We are carrying out justice. Cleaning up the campus. Oh, he added with a grin. Here's an option. Drop out.
Today.
Vanish from Connor's world.
House.
That sound. Before I could answer, two girls grabbed my arms from either side. Let go of me. One of them pulled out a marker and waved it in front of my face. I'm a liar? Or maybe I'm a shameless thief? Oh, but you love stealing Chloe's pics, don't you? The tip hovered against my skin. The cold made my whole body shudder. I wrenched my right arm free and shoved her hard. She stumbled back and knocked over a chair. You still dare to fight back? A boy rushed over, twisted my arm behind my back, and slammed me against the blackboard. You just had to make this difficult. Chloe rushed up and grabbed the collar of my shirt. 2 buttons popped off, the neckline skewed, exposing my collarbone and half my shoulder. Whistles and laughter erupted across the classroom. Phones zoomed in. Flashes went off nonstop. Keep going, Chloe. Strip her. Not a bad body.
Get those pics for the forum.
Call it the catfish unmasked. Need help holding her down? This is gold. Humiliation burned through me like molten lava. I thrashed wildly, but his grip was a vice. Another hand reached for the hem of my shirt. Don't, the word stuck in my throat. At that moment, the classroom door was pushed open. Light flooded in. It was my online boyfriend. He stood in the doorway, brows tightly furrowed. What's going on here? In that instant, I nearly broke down. Connor. Perfect timing. One of Chloe's followers shouted. We're just teaching this liar some manners. She tried to attack Chloe. Connor stepped fully into the room, his eyes sweeping over me. Don't go too far. Chloe was on him in an instant, tears streaming as she clutched his arm. He was silent for a beat. Then, quietly, just don't kill anyone. Those few casual words crushed the last bit of hope I had left. The followers cheered. Did you hear that? Connor said it. Keep going. Strip her clean. Focus the camera. Let her confess properly. Several hands reached out again, tearing at what little clothing I had left. Then the classroom door was kicked open. A man stood in the doorway, silhouetted by the light behind him. He wore a dark gray suit, and his tall, imposing presence filled the space. He carried with him a cold air of distance and authority. Connor whirled, shock stripping his face bare. "Benedict? What are you doing here?" The man didn't even look at him. He walked forward, and the crowd instinctively parted to make way. He stopped in front of me, took off his suit jacket, and wrapped it around my nearly exposed upper
Body.
Then he turned to face the entire classroom. His voice cut through the room, cold as steel. The floating comments exploded across my vision. "Wait, Benedict? Her online boyfriend is the ML's uncle? Is the plot broken? Wasn't she supposed to be catfishing the ML so the FL could swoop in and steal him? Oh, this is bad. Connor's just the trust fund baby. Benedict's the one with real power. Chloe's easy. Street to luxury just got bulldozed." I frowned at the comments, then turned toward the man beside me, whose profile was sharp and handsome. "Benedict." Connor's voice tightened. "Why are you even in an online romance?" And she stole Chloe's photos. Benedict Sterling didn't spare him a glance. His voice could have frozen hell. "Silence. You'll speak when spoken to."
His gaze
Darkened as he raised a hand, gesturing toward the doorway. Two men in black suits strode in without hesitation. They went straight for the students holding phones. Efficient and precise, they confiscated the devices, removed memory cards, and wiped cloud backups in one clean sweep. The classroom fell so silent that you could hear a pin drop. Chloe's face drained of color. Finally, Benedict turned his gaze on Connor. "You were something about stolen photos." "Why, yes." Connor stepped back a half step under Benedict's presence. "And the cuts on Chloe's arm? Calla did that with a knife." Benedict chuckled. "Connor, it seems your brain has already taken itself out." He pulled out his phone and played a recording. Chloe's voice came clearly through the speaker, harsh and shrill. "Yeah, the forum post is live. I bought the bot army too." Connor's eating it up. "The cuts on my arm had him wrapped around my finger. He's 100% sure I'm his online girl. That bitch Calla is finished. Once she's expelled, I'm home free." The recording ended. The floating comments went berserk. "OMG, she set this all up? So the injuries were faked? And the forum drama was all her? My sweet, innocent campus queen is a monster?
Damn.
Benedict's been pulling the strings from the shadows this whole time. King energy." Chloe's legs gave way, and she collapsed to the floor. It's fake. That's doctored audio. It's fake." Benedict raised his chin. An assistant immediately connected the classroom projector. The screen filled with evidence of her staging everything herself and organizing everyone to bully
me.
Finally, Benedict pointed to Chloe's white dress on the footage. "The timestamp on the photo Calla sent me is June 12th. Miss Evans, your purchase history shows the same dress was bought on June 15th. He paused, his voice growing colder. "Do you want me to check your phone's cloud backup? Or go through all your chat records?" Chloe trembled, unable to form words. Connor looked at the screen, then at Chloe, and finally stayed silent. The last wave of comments scrolled. "That's the husband energy. Connor is shredded. R.I.P. Chloe route. Benedict route unlocked. OMG, he's too powerful. I'm switching ships." Okay, Chloe never stood a chance against Calla. Hyped for the fallout. Benedict ignored them completely. He took my hand and said to everyone in the classroom, "Calla is under my protection. Anyone who lays a finger on her again answers to me. And to the Sterling name." As we walked out, his security team had already secured the scene. Chloe was escorted to the dean's office, and Connor stood frozen in place. The corridor was bright. I looked up at Benedict's sharply defined profile and asked softly, "You really see?" But I thought C was for Connor? On the campus forum, a pinned post personally written by Benedict stayed at the top for an entire
week.
There were official notices from the dean's office, along with technical verification reports and a full timeline of the incident. Each document felt like a sharp slap to everyone who had rushed to join the online outrage. Apology letters started piling up outside my dorm room door. That afternoon, on my way to class, Connor stopped me at a corner of the academic building. He looked thinner, dark circles heavy under his eyes. The arrogant young heir he used to carry was gone. What remained was a kind of panic. "Kella," his voice was hoarse. "Can we talk?" I walked past him. He hurried after me and blocked my path. "Just 5 minutes." "Chloe, she knows she messed up. Could you put in a word with Benedict? Just ask him not to expel her. She worked her ass off to get in here. If she gets sent home, it'll ruin her life." I didn't know what kind of pitiful story Chloe had fed him this time. All I felt was that Benedict was right. Connor really had lost his damn mind. I stopped and looked at him coldly. When she set me up, incited a mob, and told people to rip my clothes off, I met his eyes. Was I not miserable? Connor choked, then said after a long pause, She was just confused. And she only did it because she likes me. Liking someone isn't a crime. Look at all her injuries. She's a victim too, you know." "She's a victim?" Benedict's voice came from behind me. He walked over and naturally pulled me behind him. "Do you want me to bring out the hospital evaluation?" He looked at Connor and let out a cold laugh. Besides 3 superficial scratches she gave herself with an eyebrow razor, the rest of her injures were makeup. Special effects grade. Connor's face went pale. "That is impossible. Impossible." Benedict took a step forward. He didn't do anything else, yet Connor instinctively stepped back. "Connor, you can't even bother with basic due diligence, yet you have the audacity to plead her case. You are 22, not 12. You make a mess, you clean it up. No one else is your janitor." Benedict leaned closer, his voice edged with warning. "Go near her again, and I'll have your father cut you off without a cent." The floating comments slid past my vision again, but the tone had completely changed. "OMG, Benedict, is that fine?" I was blind. Switching ships. Connor/Chloe is sunk. Kella/Benedict is my new OTP. We're all just bandwagon jumpers here, lol. No shame. Connor finally said nothing. He stared at Benedict for a few seconds, then lowered his head and turned away. Benedict finally turned back to me, his brows still drawn together. "Are you okay?" He didn't touch. "You, did he?" "No," I said. "Why did you come?" His hand found mine, his grip warm and sure. "I'm taking you to dinner." The restaurant was on the top floor downtown. Outside the floor, 2 ceiling windows, the city glowed in the night. After ordering, Benedict took out an exquisitely wrapped box and pushed it toward me. Inside was the out-of-print book I had once mentioned. I lit up with surprise. "You remembered?" Benedict smiled faintly. "I remember every word you said. Now, let me tell you why the man you were talking to online was me and could never have been Connor." I looked up at him, genuinely curious. When Benedict finished explaining, I burst out laughing. I never expected the truth to be this absurd. Connor had been forced by his family to make up academic credits. That was why he had no choice but to join the book club. The problem was that he truly hated reading. So he went to Benedict and pestered him endlessly. In the end, he handed over his account and asked Benedict to attend the sessions for him. Benedict said calmly, "I was bored. Thought I'd just lurk. I didn't expect you." He looked at me with complete focus. "Kella, I'm sorry for letting you believe it was Connor. I should have corrected that much sooner." Lights drifted past the window. At the same time, comments flooded in. "Wait, there's backstory? Did I skip a chapter?" The plot's veering way off the rails, but I'm not mad at it. Who cares about canon? This is way more interesting. I didn't know if my awakening had changed the direction of the story. This version felt right. My throat tightened slightly as I spoke in a low voice. "It's not all your fault. I made assumptions."
First.
I never asked. I reached out my hand. "So, does this count as our official meet, cute Mr. Sterling?" He smiled. The sharp coldness in his features softened. "It does," he said, taking my hand. "Miss Shaw, The pleasure is finally mine. As we left the restaurant, a camera flash went off near the entrance. Paparazzi. Benedict tightened his grip on my hand. Being seen with the sterling heir will land us on the front page tomorrow. Are you ready for that? I shook my head, meeting his gaze squarely. Not when I'm with you. A week later, Benedict said he wanted to take me home to meet his family. I hadn't seen Chloe during that time. I thought life would settle into something quiet and happy. I was wrong. I saw Chloe at Sterling Manor. The old Sterling residence was larger than I imagined. It also felt colder. The dinner was grand, with dozens of guests present. When Benedict led me inside, all eyes turned toward us. Connor followed closely behind. The woman holding his arm was Chloe. She wore a pale pink dress. Her makeup was flawless. Her hair was neatly pinned up, making her look gentle and proper. Connor's arm was around her shoulders, his expression one of blatant, almost defiant, affection. When they noticed us, Connor lifted his head. He glanced at me with a complicated expression, then turned to Benedict. Benedict, you made it. Connor's father, Benedict's older brother, Richard Sterling, set down his on me
Cup.
His gaze landed. So, this is Miss Shaw? Yes, Benedict said, tightening his hold on my hand. Calla Shaw. Eleanor Sterling's eyes swept over me, her perfectly arched brows knitting in the faintest hint of disapproval. Chloe spoke softly at that moment. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Sterling. I'm Chloe. She leaned closer into Connor's arms. Connor's probably mentioned it. Calla and I had a little misunderstanding. But it's all water under the bridge now. She turned to me with a polite smile. We're practically family now. I do hope we can start over. Before I could respond, Benedict spoke. Calla doesn't consider frauds and bullies family. All color fled Chloe's face. On cue, tears welled and spilled over. Connor stepped in at once. Benedict, Chloe has already admitted her mistakes. When Benedict showed no reaction, Connor turned to his parents. Mom, Dad, it was just a minor misunderstanding. Benedict's already forced her to withdraw, and now he's hounding her. Isn't that overkill? Richard looked at Benedict. Benedict, causing a scene over some girl is beneath you. Then his eyes, flat and dismissive, turned to me. Miss Shaw, I hear you once used fake photos in an online romance. I opened my mouth to speak, but Benedict pressed my hand gently. If you want the facts, he said coldly, shall I reply the evidence for everyone? Connor shot to his feet. Benedict, you're choosing her side? What has she done to you? Connor. Richard snapped. Mind your tone with your uncle. The reprimand held little real heat. Eleanor moved to smooth things over.
Now.
We're all family here. Richard patted Benedict on the shoulder. Benedict, I need to talk to you. Let's go to the study. Benedict glanced at me. I won't be long, he murmured, for my ears only. Text me if you need me. He followed Richard upstairs. The atmosphere in the living room changed instantly. No one spoke to me. I sat in an unnoticed corner, waiting for Benedict to return. Chloe was on her feet and gliding toward me almost before the study door clicked shut upstairs. She held a glass of red wine. A smile curved her lips, her voice lowered. Do you see it now? In this family, Connor is the precious one. Mr. Sterling, and Mrs. Sterling always side with him. I stayed silent. So, what does that make you? She gave a soft laugh. Benedict might have power, but he'll always be the spare heir. An outsider in his own family. This family will be Connor someday. And his heart is mine. So, by extension, everything will be mine. As she spoke, her wrist tilted suddenly. Dark red wine splashed onto the hem of my dress, spreading quickly. I shoved her away. She cried out and fell to the floor. Almost instantly, she sobbed, her voice shaking. Calla, I've tried to make peace. Why are you still attacking me? If you have a problem with me, take it up in private. Must you embarrass the entire Sterling family? All eyes turned toward me, as if I were the troublemaker. Connor walked over and wrapped an arm around Chloe. He frowned down at me. Calla, haven't you done enough? The comments appeared right on cue. Wow, the audacity. What a legend schemer. I'm officially Team Calla. This is unbearable. Connor is the definition of simp. I can't. I looked down at the stain on my dress. She threw her wine on me. I said coldly, Connor, you're not just brainless, you're willful. Blind. That seemed to strike his pride. He raised his hand. You dash. The slap never came. A large hand closed like a vice around his wrist. The man's eyes were terrifyingly cold. Connor, Benedict said, you raise a hand to what's mine? He glanced at the stain on my dress.
Who did this?
Chloe shrank behind Connor. It was an accident. Benedict. Connor shielded her. It was a mistake. Don't make a federal case out of it. Benedict smiled. The sight of it sent a chill straight down my spine. Connor, he said softly, every word distinct. Do you honestly believe your father's favoritism makes you the heir to anything that matters? The living room fell into dead silence. Richard came down the stairs, his face dark. Benedict. Benedict ignored him. He looked at Connor and spoke slowly. Don't forget. I hold 62% of the Sterling Group shares. I built the core business. Without me, do you even have the right to speak here? Richard said nothing more. His voice turned cold as he issued an order to Connor. Effective tomorrow, you're out as VP. All cards frozen. Car and apartment repossessed. No one dared to speak. Connor's face went pale. The arm around Chloe loosened. Benedict took my hand. Consider any formal introduction waived. He looked around the room. But let me be clear. If anyone so much as looks at her sideways again, you'll deal with me.
And I'm
not known for my patience. He led me out. I had to admit, in that moment I felt a little starstruck. Who knew being the villainess came with a fiercely protective CEO upgrade? The comments had completely lost control. Benedict, king of the universe. Protective husband energy at maximum. I'm deceased. Someone call an ambulance, I've ascended. When we stepped out of Sterling Manor, the night wind was cold. His hand enveloped mine, a solid, warm anchor in the chill. After we got into the car, I spoke softly. I could have handled them, you know. Benedict paused and turned to look at me. Then he smiled gently. I know you could, he said. But I don't want you to have to. Connor had lost everything. Chloe had moved in with him to a low-income neighborhood apartment. Connor couldn't stand the hardship and vented his frustration on Chloe. As for Chloe, she'd only ever aimed for a wealthy, handsome trophy husband. Who would have thought it would end up like this? She couldn't accept it. I was sipping coffee when the comments suddenly appeared. The plot thickens. Chloe's staking out the club. She's gonna make a play for Benedict. Taking bets. Will Benedict bite? I say yes. That body is a weapon.
Nonsense.
Calla's the whole package, and Benedict has taste. Benedict had casually mentioned last night that he would be at the Silver Oak Club tonight for a project discussion. Afterward, he usually relaxed by swimming. I got up and headed toward the private club. Chloe's outfit was laughably tacky. She'd chosen a white lace swimsuit so sheer it was practically see-through, leaving little to the imagination once wet. Her long hair cascaded down her shoulders, and her makeup was meticulous. Timing it with his lapse, she accidentally slipped, plunging into the water directly in his path.
Oh.
Mr. Sterling, my leg cramped. Could you help me up? Benedict looked at her coldly and didn't move. Chloe leaned closer, almost pressing against him. It really hurts. Benedict stepped back. She was about to take the next step. I walked out smiling. Chloe, a few days gone, and your acting hasn't improved at all. Chloe froze in the water. Her eyes widened as they darted to me, then to the phone in my hand. What are you filming? Just filming how you try to seduce someone else's boyfriend. She swam toward me aggressively, lowering her voice. You think a man like him will stay faithful to someone like you? Don't be naive. I waved my phone. That's not your concern. You should be more worried about explaining this little performance to Connor. Her face instantly turned pale. Her lips trembled. You're insane, she screamed, reaching for the phone. I stood, looking toward the entrance. 3, 2, 1.
Bitch.
Connor stormed in. He wore a crumpled shirt and slippers, eyes red, hair messy. He ran to the pool and grabbed Chloe's wrist, yanking her roughly out of the water. You're that hard up for a man? Throwing yourself at my uncle in that thing? Connor's voice cracked with anger. Chloe staggered, the wet swimsuit clinging even more, revealing her curves. Once she regained her balance, she actually smirked. So what if I am? Connor, she sneered, sizing him up. Look at you, living in a dump, wearing rags, carless and penniless. And you have the nerve to judge me? Connor raised his hand and slapped her. The sharp sound echoed through the empty pool area. Chloe turned her head, a red mark quickly spreading across her face. You hit me, she shouted, grabbing at his clothes like a shrew. Connor didn't back down, and they wrestled fiercely. This is your fault. Look at what you've done to me. You set Kella up, and Benedict made me pay. My job, my money, my life, gone. Because of you. Because of me? Chloe's voice went shrill. No, it's because you're a fool. I never wanted you. I wanted the man Kella was talking to online. You were just the closet Sterling I could get. Connor trembled with fury. So it was all a lie? From the very beginning? Chloe's eyes turned red. If your last name wasn't Sterling, I wouldn't have wasted a second on a pathetic loser like you. I'll kill you. He lunged, and they crashed to the tile floor in a tangle of limbs, a spectacle of pure hatred. Chloe's nails tore at Connor's face, and he ripped at her swimsuit. I turned to Benedict. Shall we? Watching animals tear each other apart loses its appeal quickly. As we passed the still, writhing Chloe, I paused. I leaned down, my voice a soft, clear blade in the chaos. Look at you now. You have nothing. And mine, I added, the ghost of a smile touching my lips, is just getting started. The next morning, a disciplinary notice went up on the main campus bulletin board. Chloe was expelled for serious violations of school rules and conduct codes. Rumor had it that Connor pulled a few strings afterward, making it nearly impossible for Chloe to survive in the city. In the end, she had no choice but to sell her body. There was nothing left of her former pride. As for Connor, he showed up every day at the lobby of the Sterling Group headquarters, right on
Time.
He stood there. He clutched a crude cardboard sign scrawled with the words, Benedict, please forgive me. Every employee entering or leaving the building could see it. The once arrogant Sterling heir was now lower his head, his face ashen and his eyes empty. When I went to see Benedict, I happened to witness the scene. Connor saw me, and a flicker of hope lit up his eyes. He almost crawled over. Kella, he begged, grasping at the fabric of my slacks. I'm sorry. I know I was wrong. Put in a good word for me, please. Get Benedict to forgive me. I'll do anything. I stepped back, avoiding his hand. Connor, I said, my voice even. You're begging here because of his power. Because of my new title. Not because of me. He froze. If I were still the girl you held down and humiliated in that classroom, I continued, would you even be here? He opened his mouth. You wouldn't, I answered for him. You'd still think I had it coming. Just like you mistook Chloe's manipulation for adoration. You loved being put on a pedestal. When she framed me, you convinced yourself it was out of love. You've always operated under the delusion that the universe orbits you. Connor collapsed onto the ground, as if all strength had been drained from him. More and more people gathered. Whispers rolled in like a tide. That's really him. Connor Sterling. Serves him right. Remember how he used to strut around here? Wasn't his girl the one who threw herself at Mr. Sterling? Birds of a feather. At that moment, the elevator doors opened. Benedict stepped out, his suit immaculate and his stride steady. His gaze swept over Connor's prone form without a flicker of emotion. Then he took my hand, and we walked away without a backward glance. 3 months later, at my graduation ceremony, Benedict proposed to me. He held a bouquet of flowers and knelt on one knee, lifting a diamond ring. "Calla, will you marry me?" I looked at him and reached out my hand. Applause thundered all around us. He pulled me into his arms, and tears filled my eyes. In that moment, I remembered so many things. I once saw myself as a doomed side character in a cruel story, destined for a tragic epilogue far
From home.
but I learned to reach for the pen, even when the page seemed written. I stopped playing a supporting role in my own life. I chose kindness over bitterness, and embraced each day with intention. In the end, I got what I wanted. And now I understood something even more clearly. There is no pre-written script for life. Anyone brave enough to break their chains and author their own story becomes the radiant protagonist of their own epic. The final comments drifted past my eyes. And scene. Congratulations, everyone. Queen Calla. That's how you do a glow up. Benedict and Calla forever. Relationship goals. Everyone is the main character of their own story. Remember that. Benedict tilted my chin up and kissed me. Our story was just beginning.